Hey guys, we're moving on with branching instructions. So we just finished up 1516, Labs 1516, which was your introduction to unconditional branching instructions. Now we're going to look at conditional branching instructions. Now we're going to start building some logic, some Boolean logic, some if statements that would build some intelligence into the program, not just a direction. It would be more of an evaluation and evaluating a condition and then executing on that condition. All right, so this is lab 17. Let's see. I'll try not to cover up my face. Not that it helps. So lab 17 gives us two programs to create. We're going to create a main 1 and a main 2. So let's go ahead and do that. So select, create, main 1, we're going to use words. Actually, we could use words, right? Because there's main 1. Makes it a little easier. And the first line in this program is going to be label number 1. Use the instructions, go down to label, jump label, label, enter, 1, enter. And the second line, the second, third, and fourth line are conditional branching, right? So what is being evaluated here is a register value. So register number 5, which is called program select. We should actually go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and establish register number 5 as program select. All right, so where do you find the registers in the data? So register, I have mine as register number 1 as program select. That's fine. Just make it number 1. I don't see any reason to push it to 5. So instead of using data register 5, we're going to use data register 1. Now downstairs, we'll have to use some data register that's just not being used. All of your data register or your data register names and position register names should have your name included in it, or your initials included. So go ahead and maintain this convention of adding your initials to the front of your file names and data names, data register names. All right, so yours will be initials, program select, and then these are future labs, so we'll not talk about those just yet. All right, so we're going to use data register number 1. Back to our program, main 1, and we are going to evaluate that data register using an if statement. So that's an if select. So we will use if something equals something, then call a program. So let's go ahead and that's going to be this first option. If we were using the select feature, that would be here. But this is not really the select feature. This is just an if statement. This is if branching. So if data register, yep, that's what we want, an R. If that, and I'm going to use data register number 1, enter. And you can see the name of the data register appears as soon as you place that. Now you can turn that off where if your name does not appear, then you have the comments unselected. And I'll show you that in just a second. All right, so if the data register number 1 is equal to 1, I did not want 1. I wanted if it is equal to a constant 1. So change that to a constant. And if it is equal to 1, enter. Then we're going to call program 1. or called circle program. So call program, cursor down, enter, and not circle, but NC circle. Let's go with NC circle, enter. And then I'm going to do the same thing with for square. So again, instruction, if statement, enter if data register number 1, enter, is equal to constant number 2, enter, call program, enter, NC square, and that's it. So you can continue with this, and that will be the end of the first part. So in the interest of time, we're going to jump to the second part. So main 2, we want to go to select. We want to create another program, and this one is going to be main 2. Of course, it's going to have your initials. I should do that. I messed that up on the last one. So you could mix and match words and letters. So in C, I'll go back and rename my other one. So that's NC main 2, enter, enter, and my first line of code is going to be just to add a label. So we add the label 1, enter, arrow down, enter 1, enter label 1. And now we're going to use the select feature. This is really kind of like a macro. It's just a way of not having to go through the if statements, numerous if statements. So it kind of bundles a number of if statements in the evaluation of a single data register. So in this case, we're evaluating a single data register, 5 in main 1, you can see. And if it equals 1, then we do one thing, 2 another, and 3 a third. This is going to perform the same function, but it makes it a little bit more convenient, a little more efficient, in that we will only have to select this data register once. So let's see what that looks like. So that's going to be the select feature. So we go to if select, and then we need to go to the next page, and that's going to be this select data register. And then we say enter. So now then we have the data register that we want to evaluate, and that's 1 for us, program select. And we want to evaluate the constant 1. And if it is 1, then we want to call the program. And here we want to call the program circle, NC circle. And now we can add any number of options to this. So the way that that's done is we go back into instruction, and we go to if select, and then we arrow over. And this time, instead of selecting this option, this is the way you initiate the select function, and this is the way you continue it. So this is the one right under it. So we go there, and we say select constant, enter. And in this case, if it is equal to 2, enter. We want to call a program, enter. And this time we want to call the square. So NC square, and repeat. So this isn't laid out quite as pretty because this had to wrap around. If I modified this name, made it shorter, perhaps it wouldn't wrap around. But this is not 2 lines of code. This is a continuation. You see, this is not a numbered line. So that's just wrapping because of the size of the screen. And I can't make that bigger. All right, so let's continue. So instruction, if select, arrow over, down to select, and we want a constant. And if it's 3, we want to call a program, and the program we want to call is triangle. And that's the end of the options. And now the way to get out of this if select, you can use the else jump. So that's going to be found again right underneath the select option. So we go to select. So this is the way we started the macro, if you want to call it that, the select function. This is how we maintained it, we continued it, and this is how we're going to end it. Else. And then else, we're going to jump label. That's what it wants us to do. And we hit 1, and then the label that we want to jump to is going to be label number 1. It's the only label in our program, so it's got to be number 1. And we hit enter. And so now what is this program going to do when we finish? It's going to loop indefinitely, and depending on the register value, the value in that register 1, it's either going to run a circle, square, or triangle. All right, that's it. Thanks, guys. Good luck.